Yeah.
I know you now. Chicago and I still a cover.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, sir.
Gentlemen, not all of us will go. I think some of the DCGs and APs can go back to the table. That's one expedition remember. So all of you guys please go back here. Except the DCG has to put your hand up. All the rest of the controllers and the rest of them, please go. That's part of Pressmen will have to wait outside, that is our rule. When the inmates are released, the PRO and the director of residence of the will take the inmates to you so that you interview them and take their impression of how they feel for this day. Thank you. And the security aides, one will accompany the minister. One.
If the quote is not an original idea or thought of mine, it is a quote from actor Supernor, who felt that we should remind ourselves of the need to be compassionate. Compassion is the basis of all morality, is the title of my speech. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to this press conference. It was the great American president and statesman, Abraham Lincoln, who once said, and I quote him, I've always found mercy. I've always found that mercy bears richer fruits than strict justice. End of quote. I've always found that mercy bears richer fruits than strict justice. End of quote. We are passing through the most challenging times, the like of which we have never seen in the annals of our nation. As we are all aware, coronavirus, COVID-19, has and continues to wreak havoc globally. More than 1 million people have been afflicted globally, while almost 90,000 lives have been lost since the disease broke out in December last year in Wuhan, China. We have been fortunate in Nigeria with a relatively low number of infections and deaths, though most regrettable still. And therefore commend all again, particularly the medical personnel and security agencies that have had to work under them, putting their own lives at risk in the process. We salute all of them. The medical personnel, and the operatives of the security agencies who have had to risk their lives in ensuring that those who are afflicted are managed and the spread of the disease is contained. The welfare of all Nigerians has been of utmost concern and a major policy thrust of the administration of President Muhammad Buhari since inception. This also includes the inmates of our correctional facilities serving terms, awaiting trial, or in the condemned criminal role awaiting execution. For us at the Ministry of Interior, our mandate is very clear. The orientation must change from the punitive concept of imprisonment to correction and reformation, where inmates will be given opportunity to reflect, regret, repent, and be transformed, to be renewed and re-energized to begin a new and productive life as an honorable and law-abiding member of society. This will require that the inmates, though denied freedom of movement while in custody, be put in a decent environment and treated humanely as possible, in a way befitting their status as citizens with all dignity. They need to be well fed, decently housed, and given proper medical attention. Our correctional institutions have done a yeoman's job, and I must commend them for the reforms that have been carried out and the positive results we have seen. I'm happy that you clap for yourself. If you don't clap for yourself, it has been pitiable. So I'm glad that you appreciated yourself. So clap once again for yourself. However, we still have challenges with accommodation. About 250 facilities are inadequate to accommodate the over 74,000 inmates in our custody presently. You will recall that last month we presented to the world the ongoing construction of a 3,000 capacity custodial center in Kuje, Abuja. Before then, work had started in 2017 on a 3,000 capacity maximum security custodial center at Janguza in Kano State and is awaiting completion. We are therefore doing everything possible to overcome the accommodation challenges. Several of such high capacity custodial centers are in the offing. Very many more are in the offing. However, a bigger issue that will positively affect accommodation at the custodial center is the review of criminal justice administration with regard to the inmates. And I'm happy the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation has spoken to it. For instance, our last audit shows that a disproportionate number of inmates are awaiting trial process. In addition, we observed that A, some of the awaiting trial persons have spent 10 years or more in custody. B, some have no confirmed criminal case against them. C, some have had their cases determined, they could not pay the fines imposed on them by the courts. D, some are already old and weak, while E, some are very sick and infirm. Following these observations, the ministry has set in motion the machinery for the decongestion of our correctional facilities. This has now become imperative with the outbreak and continued spread of COVID-19. The virus, it should be reiterated, has no known cure. The best advice given by medical experts is to maintain environmental and personal hygiene. particularly constant washing of hands and maintaining social distance. The Nigeria Correctional Service has been taking extra care to prevent the introduction and spread of the virus in their centers by improving the level of hygiene, suspension of social visits, and extra screening of new inmates, among others. However, this will not go far unless we drastically reduce the population of inmates and check the congestion. It is in this circumstance that the Ministry of Interior convened a meeting of relevant stakeholders, including the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, the Chief Judge of the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Controller General of the Nigeria Correctional Service, and the Director General of the Nigeria Intelligence Agency, NIA, to look into this matter and propose measures that could be taken to reduce the population at the custodial centers. Our meeting yielded positive results. At the end of the meeting, we agreed to recommend to the President, among others, to approve the report of the Presidential Committee on the Prerogative of Mercy, which was before him, in order to facilitate the congestion of the custodial center. The story of that, the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation has given already. The President has graciously approved this request and others. Please clap for the President. That is why we are here. In arriving at Amnesty, various issues were looked into and several options were considered. But the most pertinent and accordingly adopted are A, old age. This is for inmates that are 60 years and above. B, those suffering from ill health that are likely to terminate in death. C, thank you. C, convicts serving 3 years and above and have less than 6 months to serve. D, inmates with mental health issues. And E, inmates with options of fine not exceeding 50,000 naira and having no pending case. Using this criteria, a total number of 2,600 inmates spread across our various custodial centers qualify to benefit from the amnesty. Let this be clear. This number that I've given are not federal offenders. They are state offenders. But we must mention this figure to let Nigerians know that after due assessment of people in the custodial centers and using the criteria I have enumerated, these are those who are qualified to be pardoned or granted amnesty by the various subnational authority in the states. So the state governors will have to assent to our recommendation, which the President, through the Attorney General of the Federation, will pass on to them. But let me break them down. This includes 885 convicts who could not pay their fines, totaling 21,400,000 naira. That amount of money will be required by the subnational authorities to pay into their own treasury to ensure freedom for 885 convicts, 21,400,000 naira. From this number, at the federal level, the way it's put is not right. At the federal level, we have 41 inmates that are benefiting from the amnesty that the president has approved. 41. But in addition to these 41, the FCT, which is under the jurisdiction of the chief judge, is equally giving amnesty to 29 other inmates. So in total, 70 inmates will be given freedom today. 2 of these 70 inmates that will be given amnesty today will be granted, have been granted pardon by the president. That is, 2 of them will have no record of conviction. 2 of them, 2. Let it be clear, 2. Meji. Bill, I don't know the Igbo, what's the Igbo? Above. 2 will be pardoned. Or have been pardoned. At this point, I'm pleased to inform you that 5 ex-convicts recommended for presidential pardon have been so pardoned by the president. 2 of them were eminent citizens of Nigeria at their time. Both of them are deceased. But they were eminent citizens of Nigeria. Courageous fighters for justice, democracy, and integrity of citizens. They are late Professor Ambrose Ali and late Chief Anthony Enaoro. Among the 5 that the president has pardoned are ex-Lieutenant Colonel Motisefion, Major E.J. Olarewaju, and Ajayi Olusola Babalola. The Honorable Attorney General of the Federation has given us the process that will be taken legally to confirm this. But in the letter that the president sent through him to me, these 5 people have been granted presidential pardon. So, in the record of the Nigerian Custodial Center, or judiciary, they were never convicted. That's the meaning. Professor Ali was the governor of the old Bende State in the Second Republic, 1978 to 1983, and a great progressive, while Chief Anthony Enaoro was a foremost nationalist who moved the motion for Nigeria's independence. I must thank and commend President Buhari for demonstrating great statesmanship by pardoning these people who are part of the great Nigerian history. We will proceed from here to Kuje Custodial Center to release the 70 inmates that are there in a symbolic gesture of the freedom that have been given to 2,600 other inmates across the Federation, which the governors in their respective states will actualize later. The governors of the 36 states under whose jurisdiction the inmates were incarcerated will complete the exercise in line with our federal principle. It should be noted that this amnesty will not apply to inmates sentenced for violent and extreme offenses such as terrorism, kidnapping, armed banditry, rape, human trafficking, culpable homicide, and so on. This should put paid to the wide and unfounded speculations and agitations that have been going round on the categories of inmates to benefit. Other measures requested and approved by Mr. President include A. Requesting governors to facilitate the sitting of the State Prerogative of Mercy Committee in order to recommend the serving cases for release. That is, what we are saying here is this. Even after the release of the first phase that we are putting forward, the Prerogative of Mercy Committee in this case to regularly provide room for the decongestion by going there to review cases and releasing the serving inmates. B. Engage the Chief Justice of Nigeria to request all Chief Judges of the State High Court to immediately embark on prison visits to identify and release the serving inmates. C. Engage the Chief Justice of Nigeria to consider taking steps to ensure the setting up of special courts in all states, including the FCT, to try cases of armed robbery, banditry, kidnapping, and other serious offences in order to facilitate their speedy trial and conclusion. D. Engage the Chief Justice of Nigeria to ensure that Chief Judges of the State and FCT High Courts direct lower courts to comply with the requirement of the administration of criminal justice law in issuing remand warrants in criminal cases which are not within their jurisdiction. With these measures, within the shortest possible time, awaiting trial process that have taken more spaces in our custodial centers will be drastically reduced and the centers will be decongested, as desired by all of us. Beyond the exigencies of COVID-19, we are exercising the prerogative of mercy in the firm belief that humans have innate capacity for goodness, even when they make mistakes which are precipitated by uncontrolled impulse, bad human companies, making bad personal choices and judgments, and environmental pressure. Even when, as they would, find themselves in the firm grip of the law and are justifiably sentenced and incarcerated, society owes them a second chance to repent and purge themselves of bad behavior to be able to recover the best versions of themselves. I am appealing to the beneficiaries of this amnesty to make the best use of it. The Attorney General of the Federation has said, when you are released, please go home and sin no more. And I'm supporting that call. Sin no more. The best way they can show appreciation is to truly repent and turn a new leaf and justify the confidence the government has reposed in them. They should work hard to prevent recidivism by avoiding circumstances and persons that predispose them to reoffending, in order that the government and society will not regret granting them this amnesty. I call on our correctional officers and men to work so swiftly and decisively in implementing this amnesty, and then decongest our custodial centers within the shortest possible time, believing that the governors will collaborate and cooperate with us. I commend your discipline, high sense of duty, patriotism, and sacrifice as we remain in the front line of the battle against the spread of COVID-19. In our nation, as well as in the custodial centers. Let's say this so that Nigerians will even appreciate you more. since over a century of the creation of prisons and now custodial centers or correctional service, the Nigerian correctional or custodial centers have not witnessed any outbreak of epidemic. We must commend the officers and men of this service for always rising up to it. They granted all our requests. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice for his amazing cooperation, collaboration, and commitment to this. The Attorney General of Nigeria Intelligence Agency for his own support, disposition to interministerial cooperation. Of course, I will be failing my duty if I do recognize the bureaucrats, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Interior, Solicitor General, and Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Justice, and all those who work with them in their various ministries. We thank you. We appreciate you. But Nelson Mandela, who once said, and I quote, "You will achieve more in this world through acts of mercy than you will through acts of retribution." End of quote. I thank you all for being here and for your attention. Long live.
Arising from the remarks made relating to this program, I think we have covered substantial grounds in giving an insight as to what machineries are put in place for the purpose of addressing the plight of the awaiting trial inmates. But by way of, at the risk of being repetitive, I think it has been stated that Mr. President has working with the Chief Justice of Nigeria requested the CJN to direct and work with the heads of courts and indeed the chief judges of the respective states in the Federation to ensure at the end of the day that people in custody awaiting trials are accorded speedy trials. Added to that, we have equally stated that Mr. President has equally directed governors across the nation to work with their respective chief judges and indeed pay prison visits, among others. So in effect, it is about effective mobilization of justice sector for the purpose of ensuring that justice is done to awaiting trial. And in so doing, as it has also been rightly stated, that the application and operation of Administration of Criminal Justice Act that has, among other elements, established speedy trial as a means for justice delivery and determination is equally in place, along with the other associated discretionary factors granted correctional service formation across the country to reject or to refuse to accept inmates in circumstances where correctional service facilities are overcrowded. So these, among others, are some of the factors that are put in place to ensure speedy determination of cases associated with inmates awaiting trial. A further question, I think, was addressed to me as to what guarantees are there to ensure those that are to be released arising from this program sin no more. And my answer to that is that the law remains in force. A breach is indeed addressed by enforcement. Thank you very much.
Clear, because when laymen talk, they are bound to make mistakes as laymen, particularly in matters relating to law and legalism. But since I'm not in the court now, I'm not afraid to be in court at all. I haven't been there for quite a long time before I could retrieve my mandate. Courts are not places that anybody would gladly want to be. I'm hiding under the protection of the Chief Judge and the support of the learned Sikh that are here, the Honorable Attorney General, Solicitor General, to say what I'm saying, and I believe they permit me. Do I get the permission? I've been permitted to talk. 70 is the number, and you can take that to the bank. 70 is the number. How did you get to it? Yes. The Attorney General of the Federation said 39. Yes, 39 are those benefiting sickly from the general amnesty, presidential amnesty, clemency given by the president. Their sins are not forgiven, but they are released from jail. 2 are pardoned. That is, they are released, but their sins are what? Wiped off. So 2 plus 39, what do you have? 41. They are both released. The 2 people are both released. When I got to the 2, I said, Meji, Bill, Aboro. So I made sure I said those in 3 principal languages of the 8 nationalities in Nigeria. Meji, Bill, Aboro. 2 are not only released, they are pardoned. Not by me, by the president. However, I said, that's 41, Abi? Okay. I said 29 inmates are released by the Chief Judge of the FCT. When you add 29 to 41, what do you get? 70. So, Mr. Journalist, are you clear now? I hope there's no confusion anymore, no controversy. 70 people are going to breathe the air of freedom today from the Kuje Custodial Center. That was what I said. It does not contradict in any way what the Honorable Attorney General said, who, in his speech, concentrated only on the presidential amnesty. The person that will speak on what will happen to those that will be released after today is the man who is in charge of the custodial center. Custodial General of the Nigerian Correctional Service. Come and tell us what you intend to do with those that will be released today, so that they will not sin. There are 2,600, and let me have the list of state breakdown so that they can carry it. The 6,600 are inmates already profiled by us. I have it in my file. Bring the file. Bring my file. 2,600 are inmates already profiled by the Nigerian Correctional Service and are therefore recommended to the state governors working with their judiciary, as head of courts, the Attorney General, to release immediately. But we cannot hear summarily so do, because Nigeria is a federation. The state authorities must, working on the advice of the president, activate their prerogative of mercy committee and do what we are doing here at the federal level, so as to help immediately release 2,600. The state breakdown, I want to read it to you. State breakdown, so that you can carry it. State breakdown is there. Abia, 33. Adamawa, 216. Akwa Ibom, 76. Anambra, 84. Boshi, 50. Bayelsa, 8. Benue, 21. Borno, 45. Cross River, 21. Delta, 140. Ebonyi, 16. Edo, 170. Ekiti, 21. Enugu, 32. FCT has already complied, 29. And 29 are going to be released today. Gombe, 29. Imo, 32. Jigawa, 40. Kaduna, 104. Kano, 287. Katsina, 28. Kebbi, 50. Kogi, 25. Kwara, 10. Lagos, 316. Nasarawa, 105. Niger, 46. Ogun, 289. Ondo, 27. Osun, 15. Oyo, 15. Plateau, 54. Rivers, 63. Sokoto, 38. Taraba, 18. Yobe, 25. Zamfara, 22. Total, 2,600. I think I've covered the field. CG, please come and tell us what to recommend for those to be released. Thank you.
Issue of the inmates that have been released. We have a program that we call Aftercare service. And for the inmates, there are certain qualifications for those to benefit from aftercare service of the Nigerian Correctional Service. And that means they must have undergone a program of any vocation. And they have acquired a trade test. It may either be grade 3, grade 2, or grade 1. At the end of whichever vocation that they have learned, we will organize the tools. And so we are going to organize for those who qualify among the inmates that the bulk of the number of the inmates being released here. Some of them are those that have spent some time in the prison, and 75% of their sentence after remission, they have gone. Those who have spent 3 years and have less than 6 months to serve are very few. And so some of them may have learned certain trade within that. And at a later date, the Nigerian Correctional Service is organizing an aftercare service program, and where the tools of those that they have learned, of the trades they have learned, they will be given tools for them to settle down. And we have to follow them up to their places. And I'm happy to report that we're following those inmates that we have given aftercare tools, and most of them have settled down and are doing a very good business, and some of them have even become good employers of labor. Thank you very much.
A round of applause for the Controller General for that clarification.
For me, I don't mind assistance to where I can do the task.
Hello, 1 2. Hello, 1 2 1 2.
Look at my bike now. A little bit back. Move back a bit, please. Let's spread out. Let's spread out. Go back. Okay. Move a little.
Can we give more space at the back?
It's okay now. It's okay. We are just three. Go back. We are waiting for you.
Oh yeah.
Guys, are we ready?
Please, let's be set and start.
Stop talking.
Please.
Honorable Minister, could you tell us briefly what transpired inside?
The ceremony of release. His Lordship, the Chief Judge of FCT, signed the warrants of those affected by the presidential amnesty who are here. The warrants of their release had been signed by competent authority, and some of them are out there. You should wait to interview them if you want to, but they are not all here. Some are in other custodial centers, but we have released those whose names are on the list approved by the president, and equally those who are on the list approved and paid for by the authorities in the FCT. That was the ceremony we have just come out from.
Honorable Minister, sir, I know the Attorney General said that this process started way back 2018. Today you have witnessed the final signings of their release, which you have just confirmed. How delighted are you that you have achieved this purpose, which has been tasking for many months?
Well, let's put it very clearly. He said the process began then. It's ongoing. It's not as if it's concluded. This is the first phase. In fact, we are only flagging off the process. We expect the entire process to take some time. You know, we said 2,600 are still in the hands of the governors. That's the face of the process. But that's not the end of it, even at that. The government at the subnational level are to again revive their prerogative of mercy committees to regularly visit the custodial centers and recommend deserving inmates deserving and qualified inmates for amnesty progressively, that is stage by stage. One is fulfilled, that prerogative of mercy, compassion, and consideration for the legal society have come into play, and we are decongesting the custodial centers. I mean, it's a measure of fulfillment. But I'm very grateful to the president. for his kind consideration of our plea for him to do what we have started. And I believe it will be progressive. I enjoin all of us, the press and the larger society, to support the process by accommodating those that will benefit from it. There should be no stigmatization. We should support their reintegration to society and help them. In the vote of thanks given by one of them, and from the interaction we had inside, they are all very remorseful. They regret ever being here. They regret the circumstances that brought them here in the first instance, and they have pledged to turn a new leaf. So we therefore appeal to the society to accommodate them, support them, and aid their reintegration. They pledged to be of good conduct. Let us support them to so do.
885. How many 885 people?
What are the measures put in place to make sure that this becomes in order to decongest these correctional services across the nation? We're having about 70,000.
Well, first you have to understand that the presidential committee on the reform and the congestion of correctional service has been in place even before the COVID-19, and even before the presidential regulations, on account of which the presidential committee in place has been reinvigorated. We have been working around the clock to come up with the policies, legislations, and indeed a roadmap that will see to the decongestion of prison formations. So it is not about the COVID-19 simplicity, but the fact that it has been in place, and as a matter of policy, the president has been very sensitive, mindful of the circumstances of our correctional centers formation across the country, and we are doing whatever we can do to ensure at the end of the day we have sustainable policies. And I think it is arising from that realization that one, we started with having in place legislations, Administration of Criminal Justice Act, for example, that ensures speedy determination of criminal cases, that ensures at the end of the day that there should not be breaches as it relates to taking people to correctional service formation. And then that has further been consolidated by a further legislation, Nigerian Correctional Service Act, which at the end of the day has embedded in it a lot of legislations that will assist the decongestion of the prison formation exercise. But I think the COVID-19 circumstances is an added advantage, added impetus that Mr. President considered sensitive for the purpose of supporting and enhancing what the committee for the for the correctional service centers decongestion and reform is doing. So it is about doubling the effort that has been there before, and it's not about a one-off process. It is a continuous process as far as the government policy is concerned.
Honorable Minister of Information and Culture, sir.
Bros, don't tire. The president's directive. Nigerians and this gesture is a gesture of goodwill by Mr. President. Nigerians will want you to just speak a word of Nigerians on the assurances of Mr. President, especially in the light of releasing these inmates and moving the nation forward.
Congestion has always been uppermost in the mind of the administration. From the figures given by the minister, I think about out of the total Any message to the entire society, sir, in terms of social conduct?
Well, like I said, crime ultimately does not pay, and we would rather have many people out there than in here. Because it will be more productive society to your family when you're out there. So just ask people, please obey the laws and be good citizens.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mike. Bring it. Thank you. Thank you. Like two. What's my phone?
This one said he doesn't want to. Okay? This one said he doesn't want to. He doesn't want his face.
Oh yeah, innocent. As I say, what be in name?
Where Sunanga?
Ashuru.
Obar what?
Ashuru Saluhu.
Obar what?
Ashuru Saluhu.
Mubarak.
Oh yeah, as I say now, now that you are free, how do you feel?
One person at the same time.
One by one. You are free now. So now that you are going back to the society, how do you intend to behave?
I can't behave like
some of you can. You are not going. How are you going to behave in the society? You are not going to do bad thing or what?
I'm not going to do a bad thing. I'm going to do a good thing at front. Because everyone,
Mubarak what?
Has done for me through the federal government of Nigeria. I am very happy that God have done something which I have been praying for long. That God should cause the country to do so. God should cause something that will happen that will cause the federal government to release me. And God have done it for me. By causing something to happen move the federal government to remove me from prison. I am very happy for that.
So going back to the society, what would society expect from you?
I promise to be a better citizen of the society.
What actually brought you?
I was alleged of Amnesty. That's what I was alleged. So I am very grateful that God have done it. I am Moses Nwayigwe. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
I've been here, engaged myself in various activities on the prison here. I come in here, wrote WAEC. I wrote WAEC, make up my WAEC, got enrolled into National Open University. I'm running a course in National Open University. So, plus other various religious activities that have been going on, I've been engaging myself. If you look at my certificates, they are so numerous. So I am very grateful to God.
So what do you intend to do when you go home?
If I go home, whatever the Lord I led my heart to do, I will do to the glory of God.
What's your name?
I am Sergeant Matthias Peter.
Here,
yes, I am by.
That is what I can say for now. I'm so happy.
Please, after what happened today, how do you intend to live your life while you are integrated into the society as you go back home?
Well, actually, it's not as if maybe I committed the crime, but everything is in God's hand. But I know it has been ordained. But from now on, I know I have to be very careful and maybe I just have to be careful.
How are you going to do as you go back home now? How do you intend to be in the society?
Normal as same human being, because I'm also a human being and I've not done something wrong that I can't say. It's not as if maybe I killed or anything, but I can live as normal.
What's your name? Your name?
Thank you.
Your name, please.
It's okay.
What's your name?